Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today as I review the new Disney Pixar film that was just released to Disney Plus today, Turning Red. This film is directed by Domee Shi, and the story is your average coming-of-age film, but puberty is represented by a big red panda. Now, before we get into the review, I do want to take a moment to talk about the developing controversy with the Disney company this week and their stance on Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. It really has been abhorrent both that this bill exists and Disney's stance on it. And I hope Bob Chapek changes his decision on this, as I think what I love about Disney, what I think a lot of people love about Disney, is that it promotes an image, a brand that really accepts us all, and we enjoy it, and it's an aspirational image. And I think that their stance on this bill this week has been in direct violation of that image. On that note, let's get into the review. Now, from the outset, I think what was almost disarming about the film is how unafraid of the subject matter this film is. It engages with its discourse with frivolity, but without any cloying or contrived attitude, which makes it, I feel, one of the most necessary animated films to be released in quite some time. The script here is really well done in capturing a lot of the genuine dialogue that happens between real kids. These characters speak like they would in real life. They're not put through a Hollywood filter. And we've seen that before, but I think with the conversations that this movie attempts, and I think pulls off quite well, that genuine dialogue that screenwriter Julia Cho and Domee Shi, who also co-wrote the script, what they're able to do is create this spontaneity that just feels lived in. Now, of course, this film has many themes of identity, and specifically the transformation that identity goes through during maturation. Identity can be a tricky thing because in one way, you're kind of removing a lot of the core characteristics that you may associate with yourself, and then in a weird way, you're reviving it at the same time. You really see that during these times, you have such an ambivalence and your own identity is foreign to yourself that it's hard to actually understand who you are here. And the production design throughout the film does a nice job of representing that through specificity, through objects, and how we tie ourselves to certain associations. The score by Ludwig Göransson, who of course did Black Panther and This Is America with Childish Gambino and The Mandalorian. He's just been on a roll these past couple of years, and he does a nice job with the score here. It heightens a lot of the intense emotions of the film. There's some great horror music cues that are used to show when May is afraid of the panda. And also, Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell wrote the original songs for the boy band Four Town in the movie. And I mean, they're just another group that's just on a roll. I mean, I loved their titular song for No Time to Die. And I think that the songs in this movie, I'm gonna be humming for days. And for a movie that's all about embracing the individual, that is matched with the really distinct artistic design that's seen here in the animation style. This does not mean to sound pretentious, but I remember once that I took a art class on a Disney cruise, and they talked about, and I think Walt Disney, this was something that he pioneered when he was starting the company, is that he would always make sure if he was drawing a character to draw the eyes last, because the eyes are the window to the soul in animation. Because these aren't real people, the eyes are what give them life. And so he always drew them last. And I think this movie understands the power of the eye. There's a lot of expression there, but also a lot of creativity and experimentation. How they use there's the classic dollar sign in the eye, but the way they do it in this movie, it's new and it's refreshing. The artistic style couples the charming sweetness of childhood with an edginess of maturity, that therein lies the true core of what the film is trying to say. And so I like the way that the animation is not just the means of how the story is being told. There's a lot of purpose in every single drawing and every single movement. I think Rosalie Chang does an incredible job and shows a lot of vocal range. She really nails the quieter moments, but she also nails a lot of the big comedic moments. She also is able to bridge the transformation from May to the panda, and you don't feel lost in that transition. You can sense that the same person is there And then Sandra Oh, I think, really comes through here and delivers a lot of the subtleties of the film that it really needs, I think, to work as well as it does. There is a chance that the film could represent Sandra Oh's mom character as being very antagonistic. But I think due to the vulnerability that we see through Sandra Oh's performance throughout, you can really see that she cares about her daughter, and there's a lot of respect for the mother figure. There's a lot of specificity in the culture of the film, but it is very relatable, and I think that comes out of the sincerity of the mother-daughter relationship, but all of the relationships. There's just such an infectious, positive nature by the end of the movie that accepts the faults within us and finds power within. And I think I was saying that I feel like this is the most necessary animated movie in some time. And I feel that way because these are depictions that I think kids will really get a lot out of. Seeing this represented in such a fun way will pull them in, and I think will allow children to think about, some of these things, or at least it'll be in their subconscious in ways that maybe they won't even recognize for years. I know that there are things about Pixar movies that I really responded to that I didn't really come to terms with or reflect on until much later. But the fact that this movie exists, I think, is really great. And it's, again, not afraid of the material. The film touches on a lot of interesting ideas, the difference between trust and protection when it comes to parenting, the journeys that people take when trying to fit into expectation while also trying to discover themselves, and the choices that lie in between them. It kind of reminds me of like Euphoria, but good, because it has the ideology that we're going to represent what life really is for children, but I think it does it in a more authentic way than Euphoria ever does. Now, Domee Shi proved herself as a very talented filmmaker with her short film Bao, and there's a lot of little things that she does here throughout. The color green is a nice signifier. You see it as kind of the representative color for Sandra Oh's mom character, and out of May's outfit, the only thing that is green is the hairpin that she wears to keep her hair intact and to show how her mom is trying to keep her the same and keep her tidy and clean. And there's little touches throughout the movie that help to create this idea that this is a family that was not just created on page one of this screenplay. We are just getting into their lives now, 12 years into May's life. I think it's a film that a lot of people will take a lot out of because it's a movie that talks about vying for support while trying to be independent. And I think anybody at any age really is always dealing with that. How do we become a part of something without conforming our identities? It's a really hard question to answer, and I think the movie even doesn't fully answer because there really isn't an answer. I would argue that the movie doesn't have closure, but it does conclude. You're never going to have a handle on these things. Nobody ever gets the upper hand on maturity or puberty, but it's acknowledging that the messy is okay that really makes this film stand apart. And as far as coming of age films go, it kind of argues that you really never do come of age. You may feel that you're coming of age and that this is a rite of passage that everybody goes through, but it doesn't stop at some point. Sandra Oh's character is coming of age in the same way that her daughter is. And I think that is a lesson that families that are going to watch this film together on Disney+, though I really wish this could have been seen in theaters, I think it would have still been wonderful, though I did enjoy watching at home. I think a lot of families who watch this together are going to leave with a deeper understanding and respect for each other. So that's my review of Disney Pixar's Turning Red. Let me know what you thought of it. Like, comment, and subscribe to not miss any new videos from Spoilers Ahead with Anthony Post. I'm going to be uploading a Pixar ranked video where I'm going to set out to rank all 25 Pixar feature films, a video that I'm sure is not going to upset or anger people with my choices in the slightest. Thank you so much as always, and I'll see you at the movies.